Hey guys, welcome to the Q&A session for assignment number 5. This is Kamna Jain from Team Pixel Track.
Hi guys, this is Shreya Sumesh from Team Pixel Track.
Right. So this is going to be a simple session where we'll just quickly run through the different steps you need to get done to actually have your assignment number 5 completed. If time permits, so there's a common question where, somebody also wanted to know about SMS automation. So if there's time, we'll run through that after these essential steps for the assignment are covered. And what we will also show is, if you're using a free MailChimp account, and if you create multiple zaps from that particular MailChimp account, all your zaps, or if any one of your zaps are triggered, the entries go to all your Excel sheets. To explain this better, when we share our screen, I'll just put that across. So if you're ready for today's session, just type yes in the chat box and we'll quickly begin. And a small request from us would be, if you have any doubts, please keep them towards the end so that we can have the session flowing smoothly. And if there are any queries left, we will get to those if they're already not covered in the session. All right. So what I'll do is I'll also open the form simultaneously. So it's easy to just go step by step with that. So give me one moment. Great. So if you can see my screen, just give me a quick yes in the chat box. And for a smoother flow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change the chat settings for now. And when we take pauses, I'll quickly allow and change the chat settings once again. So, all right. And let's begin. Yep, I have closed chat. So if you see, this is your assignment number 5, and apart from the basic details, here it's clearly explained what you need to do. So before you proceed, just take a moment to understand what is it that you're doing. First thing is you're creating a landing page wherein you can either promote your own product or the batch 3 of the internship program, where you can promote it for leads to sign up. So that's what you need to do here. The first step, going to MailChimp, creating a free account and creating a landing page. The second step is to ensure that the data you collect on your MailChimp landing page comes to a Google Sheet. And once that's done, you can just send a welcome message from your Gmail account. So that's all we're going to do. And we'll just quickly begin. So the first thing is, have you created your landing page or not? And what have you created it for? These are just basic questions. So here you have to enter the URL of your landing page. So let's go to MailChimp. If you can see my MailChimp screen, just give me a yes in the chat box. I'm seeing yes and no both. Okay, one second. So let me just reshare that. Yep. If you can see it now, just give me a yes. Great. All right. So let's proceed. So what you ideally need to do is you need to go to create and you need to choose the option landing page from here and then choose a template. So here what I'll be showing you is the landing page which was created earlier by me for the previous assignment. So we'll just glance through that to give you a rough idea of how you can proceed. So what I'll do is, first you can have a quick look at it, and then I'll show you some basic details you can update, and that's all. There's not much you need to be worried about. So this is the basic landing page where you can see the logo on top, a few details about the internship, and a basic sign up form. So the credentials I've asked for are email address, first name, and phone number. And after that, you can see the benefits of the program, some reviews, and few FAQs, and who the mentor is, and an option to just quickly go back to the form. Now, if we see this entire thing in the back end here, so let's go to edit design. And yeah, so this is how your back end is going to look. And that's how you can just change and edit everything and anything you want. So a quick suggestion here in case it helps you. So what happens is, suppose you put in a logo and you want the same color somewhere. So what you can do is you can use this Chrome extension called eyedropper. And what you can do here is just click on pick color from the web page, and wherever you will be, it will take the color. And if you see here, it gives you the color code in RGB or the hexa code for it, so that you can use it in any format for getting any color. So if you're creating a landing page and you want the exact same color, you can use that to get the code of the color. Because if you see, talking about color, MailChimp uses it from the hexa code and allows you to get the exact color from there. So that's just an extension you can use. It's free to use. Okay, so when you're making your landing page, so when the template is ready, so suppose, just assume that this was the original template. What you can do is, if you want to add something, you just have to click and drag it to customize or modify anything there. So say if, for example, I just wanted to add text. So as you can see, the block is creating space for itself wherever I want to add it, right? So if I would have just added text, I'd be able to modify it. And this is the back end for modifying any kind of text that you want, okay? So that's just a simple modification you have for anything you want to do. So this is the sign up form, which is an important part, which is something you need to take care of. Just give me 1 second. Yep. So this is the sign up form which you need to take care of. And if you see, it's always best to choose required here, so that your users do not actually skip the option and you get the information that you need. So I can see some of you are asking the name of, okay, great. So that's the name of the extension for you. It's called eyedropper. It's pretty simple to use. So as you can see here, you can make it a mandatory or a not mandatory field by choosing these options here. And here is where you can change the style and the color, the size, and other things. So if you see, this is the form input style. What this means is, when your user is filling in the form, what color would the text appear for them in these fields. And talking about the button style, just one setting I would like to cover here is this. 1 second. Okay, I'll actually cover it in the button which is there at the end, not for this one. So this is pretty simple, where you just add in your sign up form and get the basic details you want to cover. And talking about these images here, I'll just show you one additional setting. Apart from that, it's all pretty simple and basic to use. Okay. So if you see, like, so if I click on column 1, 2, and 3, it will show which image is it that I'm editing. So what will happen is, sometimes when you will choose, like, let me just take a random poster here. And if I just click on insert here, sometimes the size might get distorted like that. In such a case, all you need to do is go on edit, okay? And once you go on edit, let the resizing happen. So that's happened. Okay, it's happening. Yeah. Click on square, and here you see the dimensions are in a square format. So a square format would be anything like, 100 into 100, 500 into 500, 1000 into 1000. So just make it a square format and click on save. And what will happen is, see, it becomes even to the other images. So that's something you can do in case you are facing that issue over there. Okay. Now moving on, these are just some reviews and other things which have been included. You can keep including different text blocks or whatever it is that you would like to add. And one feature which is a good idea to add is, if you see, when you click on this button, it automatically goes to the back. So it's like, here for people who are already convinced, they directly sign up. But for people who would, ideally want to go through and see what is it that you're talking about, what you can do is you can just add this button, because that way your user will, sort of reach where you want them to. And how you can do that is by clicking on the button, going to content and add the button text here. Now, when you see the link to option, what you can do is you can choose anchor link. And as soon as you choose anchor link, you can take it to the form. And if you do that, this setting will be activated for you. So that's the basic setup you need to do. And once you make all the changes, just click on save and close and click on save and publish. So that's pretty much what you needed to know about the basic setup of your landing page. If this part is clear for you, just type clear in the chat box. Right. So once the assignment, your landing page is ready, you can view it here. And if you need the link of your landing page, the correct link that you need to share in the assignment, one second. Yeah. So if you need to get the correct link, so you can see it's visible here on top. This is what you can use. And of course, if you're out of this page and already on some other window and you're submitting it some other time, just go to your campaigns. And once you're on campaigns, if you see here, you can see the link here, or you can just click on view landing page, go there and copy this link. And that's what you can use to submit it in the form. One second. Let me share that screen with you. Right, so this is what you'll need to enter over here in the assignment form. Okay, Anant, I'll just repeat it once again. So once you've published your campaign, all you have to do is to click on, go to campaigns here. So you go to campaigns. And you'll be able to see all the campaigns that you have. Click on the arrow mark, click on view landing page, and the URL you get is the URL you need to submit in the assignment. Oh, okay, sorry guys, one second. So if you can see my MailChimp page, give me a yes. If not, say no. Okay. Yep, I think it's visible now. Yeah. Okay. So once you're done, just go to campaigns. Under campaigns, you'll be able to see all the campaigns that you have made. Click on the arrow mark here and click on view landing page. Once you do that, this URL that you get, what you can do is you can also open it on an incognito window and check whether it's loading or not. And in your assignment form, if you can see the assignment form, just give me a yes. If you can't, say no. Yes, thank you. So here, if you go, you'll be able to get to the question. So have you created your landing page? You can choose yes. What have you created your landing page for? You can choose it whether you've done it for your own product or for the internship. Yes, Shweta, the URL would be auto-generated. And here you can just enter the URL of your landing page. So this is about the submission till question number 6. If it's clear, just type clear, or if you have any doubts till here, if there are any repetitive doubts, we'll cover it at this point. Otherwise, we'll keep it till the end. So we'll proceed to the next part, which is about creating a Zap connecting your landing page and Google Sheets. So before we get to that, we'll get to creating a Google Sheet. So give me 1 second. I'll just quickly make a Google Sheet right now. So we'll click on blank. If you can see my Google Sheet screen, just give me a quick yes. Yep, great, thanks. So what you'll do here is, you'll just rename it. So say today is 23rd April. So I'll just write 23rd April test landing page. Okay, I've named it. And yes, Roshi, I will cover the phone number bit as well. So here what you'll have to do is, you have to see which are the fields that you have put on your MailChimp landing page. So here it's email address, first name and phone number. Now in your Google Sheet, since we also have to connect it to a Zap, it's important that the first row is your header, okay? And I personally prefer writing it in the same order. It just makes things easier. So I will write email ID, name, phone number, and just create these things and let it be, okay? No, phone number is not mandatory. So some mapping issues were happening with the phone number. So we'll just try to cover it today and sort that out. So just take your email ID, name and phone number, create this Google Sheet and keep it with you. And have you created a Zap connecting your landing page to Google Sheets? So now what we'll do is, we'll go to Zapier. Give me 1 second while I go there. So if you can see my screen with Zapier, just give me a quick yes. Awesome. All right, so a common confusion and something which is important to know here is, if you're actually going on and planning to, take a Zapier subscription. So Zapier charges you not just, it's not just one thing it sees. For each plan, it will offer you different tasks and different Zaps, and that's how you should calculate how cost effective which plan will be for you. So I'll not get too much into that. I'll just give you a basic explanation of what a Zap is and what a task is. So if I just go to my dashboard here, you can see three, Zaps here, basically, like three fields. So each of them are three different Zaps. So any kind of connection that we make, that is what a Zap is. Now, what is a task? For example, just go to your task history. And if you can see mine here, it shows me different tasks here. So what this means is, any action which happens under one Zap is a task. So if we see the free plan here, it says I have 2000 tasks and I have unlimited Zaps. That means I can create as many Zaps as I want. I can create as many connections as I want. But the moment there are 2000 tasks complete. So for example, let's go to my Zap dashboard here. So the first one, as you can see, is MailChimp, sending it to Google Sheets, sending it to Gmail. So the moment this task is complete, it's considered as one task. And the moment, say this is the SMS automation, where MailChimp was sending it to Google Sheets and Google Sheets to as an SMS. So that is another task. So the moment 2000 individual tasks are completed, my free account will be over. So that's just a basic clarity here. Let's step into the Zap creation now. So the first thing is to, name your Zap. So I'll just name it 23rd April and assignment 5. Okay. Now, if you're having any confusions, look at Zap logically, okay? Don't stress or worry about it. Try to understand what's happening. So the first thing it says is when this happens, which means when a particular action takes place, 1 second. can we get today's session recording? Yes, Dharmendra, we will be sharing a recording. Chiranjeev, yes, you need to make an account on Zapier. You can sign up for a free trial. You will get a 14-day trial, I think, or it's 7 days. I'm not exactly sure. So that's what you need to do. Okay. So when this happens, here you're telling Zapier that, hey, I'm going to give you a task, and anytime you see that particular task happening, you will do what I'm about to tell you next, which is in the next step. So when this happens, and here what you will do is define what is the action, the trigger that should make your Zap work. Okay. If you understand this logical reasoning, just give me a yes in the chat box. Okay, so I see a few no's also, so I'll just say it again. What we are exactly trying to do here is we are trying to tell Zapier, look Zapier, when a particular action happens, which in this case, for example, is somebody signs up on my MailChimp landing page. Okay, so that's a trigger. So you're telling Zap when somebody signs up on MailChimp, and the whole talking about somebody signing up on MailChimp is what you're trying to explain here, which is what you will choose in when this happens. So this is the first part. And what should happen when someone signs up on MailChimp is what you will define in the next part. So that's what it is, a trigger and the action. When a certain event happens, what should the result be? That is what Zapier allows you to do if you were to understand it to begin with. So here, this is the first step where Zapier allows you to choose app and event. So go here and choose MailChimp, and it says choose trigger event. So now what happens in MailChimp is when it's a free account, you can only create one type of audience. I will get into that later because for the sake of the assignment, you don't need to get into that, and I don't want to complicate things here. So we'll get to that later. So right now I'll choose a trigger event as a new subscriber, and anybody who signs up on your MailChimp page is your subscriber. So I'm telling Zapier a trigger event is a new subscriber. So if somebody subscribes on MailChimp, Zapier will get to know. Now what I need to do is I need to choose my MailChimp account. So that's all. And mine is already authenticated. Otherwise, all you need to do is just sign in with your username and your password. Now, talking about the audience, if you have a free account, you'll have only one type of audience option available. So make sure you choose that. Click on continue. And what will happen here is this will give you a test whether a subscriber is available or not. So you can see here that it shows the email address and it shows the name, but it does not show the phone number. So this issue has been commonly faced. So check it at this point, and if you can see the phone number is not visible, go here and try it with another subscriber, say subscriber B, and let's see what happens here. And if it's not coming here also, go to subscriber A, and if you see right now the number is available. So the reason for this mapping issue is not exactly clear, but how you need to resolve in case the phone number does not appear is this is what you need to do. And if it doesn't happen with any of these three, just see what happens if you get any more options. So right now there are no other test data as it's getting, and in case there is no other test data, what you should do is you should go to your MailChimp landing page, fill it again, so that these three are replaced with the latest three entries. So if your phone number is not showing, try to choose other subscribers. If it does not show beyond these three subscribers also, what you should do is fill your MailChimp again, MailChimp landing page again, and see if it shows. So with subscriber A, it is showing me the phone number. So I will proceed now. I know I'm good to go. I'll click on done. So here what we've done is we've stored everything we need from MailChimp. If you understood the first step, give a yes. If you have a doubt, post it here quickly. Okay. For people saying no, if you can just tell me what's not clear, I'll cover it. If you need to see just the same steps, you can have a look at the recording. If there's something which is not clear and has not been shown. If it's about the steps, I'd suggest you have a look at the recording. Okay. So that's all I did, guys. I just went here. I chose MailChimp. As soon as I chose MailChimp, it asks for a trigger event. And the trigger event in this case is a new subscriber. Click on continue. Choose your MailChimp account. It will ask you to sign in. And once you sign in, you have to just choose the audience. You'll ideally have just one audience option available. When you go to find data, it will automatically generally take subscriber C and just check whether the fields you have filled are showing here or not. I only care about email address and the first name and say the phone number. The phone number is not showing. So I tried to go to subscriber A and it's showing me the phone number, the name and the email ID. So I know I'm good to go. So that's all is there for step number 1. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to get that data on Google Sheets. So the second thing is do this. So when this happens, when there's a new subscriber in MailChimp, do this. And by do this, we mean show it on my Google Sheets. So I'll choose Google Sheets here. And the action event here will be to create spreadsheet row, because every time a new subscriber comes in, I want them to just to add a new row. So for those who are asking me, if you choose the first subscriber, will Zapier not show the phone number? That's not true. Sometimes the mapping issue happens, and to avoid it, or if at all you're having the mapping issue, this is how you can deal with it. So coming back, choose the Google Sheets. All right, guys. So I'll just take the queries at the end because it's getting a little distracting, and in the interest of time for people, who want to see it till the end and the entire assignment, I'll just keep my flow going and the queries will be taken only at the end. So what you need to do here is you need to tell Zapier that once somebody subscribes on MailChimp, I want a new Google Sheet row. So just click on Google Sheet row, click on continue. Here you have to choose which account you want to have your Google Sheets on. So say I choose this Gmail ID, and if you're not logged in, it will just ask you to log in. Now the next step is choosing the drive. Ideally, you'll see just one option here. Just choose that, nothing much to do. Here is where you need to choose the spreadsheet, which is the Google Sheet in which you want to show the entries. So just click on 23rd April test landing page, because this is the page where I want to see my data. It will also ask you which sheet. So just choose the first sheet. And once that's done, now you have to map the data. So which field from MailChimp should go under which column in your Google Sheet is what you're doing here. So if you have noticed, email ID, name and phone number are the 3 fields we put in the header section of our Google Sheet. So that's what we'll show here. And just go here, click on the email here. So it will map it for all future subscribers as well. Go to name and choose the first name or the last name. I have kept only one name field, so I'll just choose F name over here. Talking about the phone number, you can just click on show all options and you can choose the phone number option and it will map it technically. So what we can do is we can do a test and review, and you can either click on done editing or you can choose another step if you want to create a multi-step Zap. So ideally the data should show in the Google Sheet. If it doesn't, sometimes it takes time. So I can see that the data has been transferred. So I'll just share that screen with you so that you can also check it here. So as you can see, the data has been transferred to the Google Sheet here. And that's what it's going to be like. So we'll move on to the next step now. Give me 1 second. And Yes, let me share the screen. Yeah, all right. So our final step is via Gmail. Okay, so we go to we choose Gmail here, and here we choose the action event. Now my action event here is to send an email. I'll just choose the action event as send email and click on continue. Okay, 1 second. I'll share it again. Okay, yeah. So let me delete this and redo it for you. So if you see here, I'll just click on plus because we also need a third step here. And we want to send a welcome email from Google Sheets once they sign up for the MailChimp on the MailChimp landing page. So you choose Gmail over here and you choose the action event as send email and you click on continue. Once that's done, it will ask you for the Gmail account. So I'll put in my email ID. If not signed in, you might have to sign in again. And here is where you can choose the different customization of your email. So in two, you have to ideally choose the subscriber who signs up on your landing page. So just click on, email here, and automatically for every email ID that your user signs up with, it will keep customizing it. So you can take it from either MailChimp or Google Sheets. It does not make much of a difference. You can ignore the CC and the BCC bit in case, it's the normal CC and BCC function it does, nothing special there. For from, you need to, of course, choose your email ID from where you want to send in the email. From name, if you want to customize it, you can. Like if I want, I can just type in Kamna Jain. If I want, I can leave it blank. It will take the default name. Here is the subject line. So just for example, say that was my subject line. And here I can include any text which I want. So say hi, and here I want the name of the subscriber. So I'll click on hi Kamna Jain. Right, it will automatically keep updating. We have received your so you can just type something like that and send it across. And yeah, your body is done. If you want to attach any images or anything like that, you can do it. So it says it can be an actual file or a URL which you can add. So after that, click on continue. Is the screen different again? Because I'm just seeing some chats there. You're seeing my Zapier screen, right? All good. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's what you have to do here. And just click on test and continue. So that's all. But if you miss out on this important step, none of your zaps will work, which is turning it, on. So if you do not do this step, if the zap is off, none of it will work and you'll be doomed. So that's what this is all you need to do for your assignment. So let me go back to the assignment form. If you can see the assignment form, give me a quick yes, please. Great. So here, yeah, we already saw the step. Have you created a Zap connecting your landing page to Google Sheets? Now you've done it, you can click on yes. The next step says enter the URL of the Google Sheet where you are collecting the leads, okay? So let me take you back to the other screen where my Google Sheets is open. So one moment. Yep. Share. Great. So ideally you should be seeing my Google Sheet here, right? Just waiting for a quick yes, because there seems to be some confusion with the screen sharing. Great, thanks guys. So if you see, all you need to do is go on share and get shareable link. Make sure it says anyone with the link can view, okay? And copy this, go back to your form. Yeah, go back to your form and paste the URL here for your Google Sheet. Now, the next step is, have you created the Zap to send a welcome email from Gmail to your leads? So if you've followed all the steps here, you can choose yes. And here you need to enter the number of leads you've generated on the date of submission. We've asked you to have at least 3 leads because we can, we can't enter your Zap account per se. So in the next step, you'll be asked to submit your task history. And if it has worked successfully for at least 3 people, we know that your Zap is working fine. So you can just type like 3, 5, 10. I saw somebody had written 100 and things like that. So as many leads as you have on the date of submission, just write that here. And this is the step where you just need to name your Zap. So here you see that I had named the Zap as 23rd April assignment 5. So I would have just written, rather copy pasted it, but okay. And you move to your last step where you need to share the screenshot of the task history from your Zap account, and you can do it via imgbb.com. Okay. So go back to your Zap account and go to your task history. All right. And in your task history, you can, so for the test one, it's ideally not showing because if you remember, the Zap was off and right now it's not showing here because that was a test Zap, I believe. So suppose you've turned it on and you've asked people to fill it up. What you can do is quickly take a screenshot. Now, when you're taking the screenshot, if you've submitted it already, it's okay, but try to make sure your account name is visible here. And this is the starting point you need to consider while taking a screenshot. So take the screenshot, include the task history. It's important that the first 3 tasks are definitely visible. That's all, okay? Apart from that also, if you want to add, there's no harm, take the screenshot. So now the screenshot is saved on my desktop. So Mukul, my Zap is not on yet. That was just a test Zap, hence it doesn't seem to be showing here. Now you have to go to imgbb.com and you can sign in or sign up there. And go here, click on the upload button, choose your image. And for all those of you who would like to see a trial Zap, what we'll do is once the assignment bit is over, we'll try to create the SMS automation, and there are some credits which I have on my account, and we'll see if you receive the SMS. So if you'd like to see a live Zap, we'll do it in the next bit. But this is what is there for the assignment bit, right? So now you've uploaded the image. Please make sure you don't choose any of this. It should be by default to don't auto delete. Let it be like that and just upload. Your link will be visible here. You can copy it, but assume that you're on any other screen and you want it again. Okay. So to access it, just go to my profile. You'll see the images uploaded here. Click on embed codes and copy the URL. That would be all. So give us that link here and you'll be done with your assignment. So these are the basics you need to know for Zapier MailChimp. And yes, Vijay, it is necessary to have the status showing as success because that is what we will be considering. That's the exact template we attached here in the form also for reference. So all right guys, if you have any doubts remaining, you can put them on the chat box here. Guys, if you're talking about repetition of steps, I would suggest you just see the recording of the video. We'll share it with you today itself. So the steps bit, you can have it there. Okay, edit the landing page, add landing. Yes, Christy, we would need you to upload the screenshot on IMGBB. We've done that for consistency purposes because sometimes if we say this and that, what happens is people, while sharing the link, they don't create the right link and other issues. So to prevent that, we've kept it standard to imgbb.com. So talking about reviews, that's some, are you asking about digital debug internship or for your own product? Okay. Harish Desai, to edit the landing page, you need to go to the back end of your MailChimp and you'll be able to make all necessary edits over there. Shabas, to take a snap, if you use, like you can use the snipping tool. If not, you can use different plugins. One that I use is called Awesome Screenshots. I mean, it's just there. And there are plenty of other Chrome plugins, extensions, not plugins, available for taking screenshots. So you can use any of those. Is it necessary to create phone number column in Google Sheet or email ID and first name is fine? It's not necessary, but if you need whatever information you need is what you need to add in the Google Sheets, whatever you want to transfer. Ideally, do not consider the test subscriber. Try to get 3 organic leads. Dipankar, you have submitted your assignment with 2 weeks period on IMGBB. I am not sure of that. It really depends. Mostly, yes. Shouldn't be an issue. What you can do is you can I'm sure you have a backup. So in case there's an issue, you can email us. So if you're talking about getting the reviews of the digital Deepak internship, you can check Deepak sir's YouTube channel. There are a couple of reviews available. And for the images, what you can do is you can go through the group and there'll be some testimonials already put in by people. You could use those as well. Jaren, if you could repeat your question, I can clarify that. Mustahid, yes, 3 leads are mandatory. Yes, Jaren, you can have a single basic page, but ideally we'd suggest you make a decent enough landing page. Yeah, you can use any of the video reviews available on YouTube. There are reviews made by me, Chitra, and two, three couple of students on Deepak sir's channel itself. Renuka says, my Zaps were working properly for about 3 subscribers. You managed to submit the assignment, but after that, it's not happening. And you have checked your Zap is on mode. What else can you check? So, Shreyas, any suggestions based on that? What else can we check, or is it better to just create a new Zap? What do you think about that?
I mean, if your Zap is not turned on, that might be the first issue. But if your Zap is turned on, the first place you have to check is the webhook. The place where you put the webhook, that should be the first point where you have to kind of check if it is working fine. Do some test transactions again, do some test submissions on your landing page and see if it works.
Great. So what are we supposed to start with in Zapier? What is covered in the assignment is what you can start with for Zapier. Talking about landing page on your website. So as of now, the simple, so if you want to do that, you have to do some verification and other things. If you just want a basic sign up form going ahead, like not for the assignment purpose, but just including a sign up form, you can do that using a couple of plugins which are available on the WordPress website, or you can choose the embed option here, which I will show after these queries are cleared. But ideally for the assignment purpose, you can host it on MailChimp, or you can, that's the best thing to do as of now to avoid confusion and keep it standardized. For Akula, it's showing one task history and you're getting leads. For me, it shows 3 rows. So are you talking about the zaps or the task history? For task history, it will show as many tasks have been executed. No, there's no specific free Zapier task or app you need to select. If you're using the trial version, you can use any of the apps for 14 days. Ankit, you are asking you how can you get the viewers from MailChimp, where you are adding MailChimp subscribers. If you can clarify, are you referring to seeing it on MailChimp? It will be helpful. No, ideally we are not focusing on the design bit here. We are focusing on whether you've included the sign up form, included the basic essentials, and everything in your step to step is correct or not. No, SMS automation is not required for the assignment. Vijay, ideally we did need a screenshot where 3 tasks show as successful. You can drop in an email to support@pixeltrack.com.
So somebody's asking, Anuj is asking, how can I connect MailChimp landing page to my blog site? So Anuj, basically you use landing pages only when you run some campaigns online. So, but if you're doing it generally just to collect some subscribers for your newsletter within the website itself, I would recommend you use some plugin which is called as MailChimp newsletter or MailChimp lead page or something like that. It's you will get that in the plugin section of WordPress. So you have to connect that with Zapier if you have to like do it on your blog site.
So are there any other assignment specific questions so that we can wrap it, and any additional things you want to discuss? Few things we'll do it post that. So on Nithya Ranjan, you say that when you choose your MailChimp account, it's showing there's an issue with MailChimp in step 1. Ideally, to troubleshoot that issue, there you need to provide more details as to what is the error that is being shown, whether it's because of sign in, because MailChimp is not authorized, whether you've verified your account or not. So it's a very specific thing. So if you can elaborate more, it would be possible to provide a solution. Snehal, if you don't get leads, I don't think that's possible because you have a community which is like you guys have heard about 600, 700 in numbers. You just need to send in a message and you'll get your leads. Great, guys. So are most of your doubts cleared? What do you think of today's session? If you can quickly hit it up in the chat box right now. Your doubts were cleared, not cleared, gave you clarity, thought it was helpful. I will continue the session for some more time where I would like to cover, I mean, so there's only one condition for going to the second part. Do not, complicate it from the assignment point of view. Let that be straight. This is just from learning point of view where we will cover number 1, how to segregate the audience on your MailChimp. Second thing would be to see how we can do SMS automation. So these are the basic two things we'll do once the Q&A bit is over. For people who had doubts specifically to the assignment, you're free to exit the webinar. So guys, last day, Shreyas also mentioned you guys can always refer to the link we share, the resources. It's 20th April, so you can refer to that as well. So Anuj is asking about creating a landing page directly on the website. In general, you can always do it using Elementor, Thrive, or other landing page builders. Shreyas, anything you'd like to add on that?
I guess Elementor and Beaver Builder is one of the best plugins that you can use to build landing page in WordPress.
Right.
Deepankar, it will be mailed to you. Even we are like structuring the third batch right now. We'll share more details once we decide on it.
So, Deepankar, are you asking for the assignment point of view, or are you asking for sharing it with someone? Just if you can clarify that, that's all. Like, seems to be a little bit of a confusion there. Assignment and for future one. So future one shares is already covered. For assignment, you can refer to the landing page details. Sorry, Shreyas, you're saying something.
I just dropped the link of the landing page that we created. So you can take some content from that. You can take some testimonials from that. And for more testimonials, you can just take it from the group. And regarding the payment details, it's not yet fixed. So let us wait for the official announcement from Deepak on what is the cost and what is the cashback and all of that.
Yes, pretty much that. All right, guys. So this is what is there about your Q&A. We'll just quickly step into a few additional things we want to cover. Sakshi, the assignment for submission date is 24th, which is tomorrow. So let me just share my screen here. So this is just for information purpose and just some extra information if you guys like, nothing more here. So generally, we also do not actually use MailChimp much, but few things we did observe were these. So if you see here, this is your audience section, okay? And here what happens is you have this option to manage your audience, okay? So if you go to manage audience, so yeah, but before I proceed, I'll just quickly repeat it once again for people who might be seeing the recording. Everything which was discussed before this is for the assignment point of view. Anything which is being discussed now is solely for information purpose. So do not get confused and do not worry about anything coming forward. So all right, yeah. So you can go to your audience bit, and once you see manage audience here, you see that you can manage view your audiences, okay? And right now, even I'm on a free MailChimp account. So as you see here, it says you've hit your audience limit and you have the maximum amount of audiences allowed in my plan. And come on, the number of audiences I have is 1. So basically they are saying you can only have 1 audience. Before I proceed, let me tell you what an audience is. So anytime somebody signs up on MailChimp, the email is added to a particular audience, and that's how MailChimp saves it, okay? So that's what this audience basically means. Now, what you can do is, so let me actually take you back to Zap so that you understand why am I discussing this. So there was a query which was there on the Facebook group where, it said that, one second, let me share my Zap screen. Right. So this is my Zapier screen, and let me take you to my Zaps, okay? Now, if you remember, while making this Zap, we chose an audience, right? So here in mail, choosing the trigger. In choosing the trigger, we chose new subscriber. Okay. Now I'm going to take you back to MailChimp and show you what a subscriber means in perspective of the audience. Right. You can see my MailChimp screen. Yeah, great. So now anytime somebody fills up the lead form on MailChimp, it is added to, the audience here, and which is why it's considered a new subscriber. Now, if you see, there's a campaign here which says intern with Digital Deepak lead generation, and there's a test landing page. For example, just assume it was published, or if you see this another landing page. All right, let's just see this Facebook cover photo, for example. So suppose these are two different campaigns and both of them have a sign up form. Okay. Now, when somebody signs up on this landing page, what MailChimp will do is it will add them to, the audience segment, and it will consider it as a new subscriber. And simultaneously, if somebody also signs up for this particular campaign which is running, even after that, MailChimp will consider it in the same audience, because there is only one audience, and it will be considered a subscriber. Now let me take you back to Zap. Right. Now, if you notice, the trigger event we chose was new subscriber, because ideally we are just running, one campaign and just doing things for that. Which is why if I am running two Zaps, okay, so there you saw two campaigns on MailChimp where I am able to collect email IDs from both campaigns. And if, for example, I turn on this Zap, okay, and if you see, both of them are triggered by a new subscriber on MailChimp, which means that anytime somebody signs up on MailChimp, both these Zaps will get triggered. Why? Because the trigger that was chosen is new subscriber, if you see. So what is the solution to this? Okay, I'll get to that. Yes, Anuradha, is the recording, they'll consider this part as well. Now the solution is to create audience tags so that a different Zap is triggered for a different type of subscriber. So first, let's go to MailChimp, okay, and create an audience tag over there. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So now when we go to audience, we have the option called tags. Here you can see I have two tags created, and if I want, I can still create some more. So ideally, I can just create a new segment, or I can take one subscriber and move that subscriber by choosing a new tag. So if it says it cannot find a new tag, I can just make a new one here. Say, for example, I chose test, and you can see it's not there. So it gives me the option of creating a new tag. And now a new tag called test has been created. So now that I have tags, what I will do is I will go back to my campaign, okay? And for each campaign, I will shift the audience to that particular tag. So once I have published my landing page, if I click on edit, you can see I have the option to choose audience and tags. So if I click on edit tags here, the audience I cannot modify because I have only one audience and I don't have the option to choose any more, but I can definitely add a tag here. So I'm using the DD internship tag here and I'm clicking on save, okay? And you can see the changes have been published. So now what I've done is for each campaign, I'm attributing my audience to a particular tag. Let me now go back to Zapier and show you how you can only trigger a zap for a particular segment or particular, I would say, campaign which you're running. Give me 1 second. Can you see my Zapier screen? If yes, just say yes. Great. So now when I'm making my zap, I will not choose a new subscriber. Okay. So this will change here. Instead of new subscriber, you see there's something called new subscriber in segment or tag. This is what I would choose if I'm running more than one campaign. So I click on continue and it will now ask me which tag do I want to trigger the zap for. So I've chosen my audience, which is the same. And here for tag, it will show me the different tags which are available. So if you remember which tag we used for the latest campaign, just type in the tag which was used lately, right? So it is DD internship. So I will choose DD internship here and I will click on continue. And after that, I will again click on test and review. And I can see the number is also showing, everything looks good. So I will click on done. Now what will happen is after I turn this on, if somebody signs up on my other campaign, and if I don't choose subscriber there, I mean if, like, let me say that again. So for this zap will only be triggered if somebody signs up where I have given the tag DD internship. So in this case, multiple zaps will not be triggered. So this was just a common issue which I noticed on the group. So I thought of clearing. It might seem a little complicated, but if you actually sit and do it yourself, it's really simple and nothing much about it. So if you understood this, just give me a yes again in the chat box. And if you think it was useful, just type useful. Right. Okay, great. Okay, Akula, noted. Sure, no worries. So now I'm going to try another thing, which is SMS automation. So honestly, even I saw that Deepak sir done it and it seemed damn interesting, and it's always fancy to see these new things triggered. So I just made like a free account on smshorizon.co.in. And let me just make you a little comfortable with this, because if after this you want to go and get a free account for yourself, feel free to do that. So I got 50 free credits from SMS Horizon to just try. I don't know if they always give that or it's generic, because once I signed up, I only had 10 free credits, and suddenly I got an email saying 40 credits have been given to you. So that's how I got 50 free credits. Now if you want a sender ID, like if you want to customize, like for example, if I want to send the SMS from the name Kamna, I need to buy that sender ID, and that is only for transactional SMS. So all that features are not available. All that is available is sending free messages. So let's go to Zap and see how we can get free SMSs running. So what I will do is I'll create a new Zap only quickly. Or actually it will be faster if I use an existing one. So let me just modify this one itself. So we've already chosen MailChimp and new trigger event. That's sorted. Choosing account is sorted. Customize subscriber, we've already chosen the audience and the tag. We did the testing, it was working fine. Now, if you want, you can ideally just directly, transfer your data from MailChimp to SMS Horizon. But for some reason, I just feel it's always safer to having to go via Zapier, Google Sheets. But what you can do is now, if you're using a professional account, a free trial, it will allow you to create multi-step zaps. So anything which is more than the first two basic steps is a multi-step zap. In your free accounts, you cannot create multi-step apps. So see if, I'm not sure if it will allow custom or these webhooks. Oh, in fact, yeah, webhooks is not a premium feature. So yeah, you can use it only in your free trial period. Okay. So I'm going to keep all this the same, where all my data is going to transfer. But I would really like to test it because we are sort of customizing it again. So it's always safe to get a test. The mapping bit looks fine. So if you can see, the email ID is not showing here, which means I need to check the mapping again. Because we changed the audience segment and everything else, sometimes these mapping issues can happen. So let me see what is the best subscriber I can get. Okay, as of here, it seems fine. So yeah, now I have manually mapped it. So this is what happens with Zapier sometimes. So do not stress if ever it doesn't show or anything like that happens. 1 second. So yeah, I can just see it on my Google Sheets. The data has transferred. I'll not get to that bit. It's not important at this point. So I'll click on done editing. Now what I'll do is I'll just delete this Zap. Yep, really delete it. And here we'll see how we can automate SMSs. So we will have to use a webhook. Now the term webhook means if something is not provided directly by Zapier. So for example, Google Sheets, MailChimp, it's directly provided by Zapier, right? But SMS Horizon is not provided. So when I want to use something which is not directly integrated by Zapier, I can use a webhook. So that's what a webhook is. Now the task, now imagine, okay, like understand what it means. When you're creating a webhook, all right, actually, let me show you the step, then I'll explain it. So here what you need to do is to get, which means that it will collect the data basically. It's trying to get the data. Now, if you go to SMS Horizon, it has an option called HTTP API. I've been logged out of my account. 1 second. Right. So it gives you something called HTTP API. And this is the webhook you have to put back on Zapier. So that what will happen is when there's a new subscriber in MailChimp, it will go to Google Sheets and then it will go to this link per se. And this link will sort of tell SMS Horizon that, hey, I've received this data, use the information for the particular person and send it. Now, this is where the data is just like, this is for understanding purpose. This is where the data is basically getting collected. Now there are some parameters you need to enter here, which are already given here. So you take user. Now for user, it says Kamna because this is my account. It already gives me the name and I will take in user and put in Kamna. Then the next step is API key. It's a simple copy paste process. It's tedious, of course, but nothing complicated there. Now, point of attention. For mobile, you don't have to put in your mobile number. You have to put in the subscriber's mobile number. So map the subscriber's mobile number at this stage. And then continue. So this is the message. So for message, let's say, hi, your registered email ID is this, okay? Thanks for registering. So that's what you need to do. But the task is not over yet. There's a sender ID. Now to figure out my sender ID, I haven't really used this much, and since it was a task, what I did was I just sent one SMS to myself, and I went to send SMS here, and I got my sender ID from there. So yeah, so I know that this is my sender ID, and I can put it here. And there's just one last bit we need to take care of, and the API will be over. Yeah, that's all that is there. So now don't change anything, just click on continue, and if it's having any errors, it will show here. So yeah, it looks good. So yesterday I was trying a few things, and when there was an error, it actually did show me what particular field was not right, what the error was. So that's an additional help you will get. So once that's done, you can click on test and continue. And it should ideally work in a while. So what we can do is, this does take a little bit of a time. Let's see if we can get it working. And of course, it's always a little bit of a, anxious moment to actually find out if it's working or not. So let me send you the link, and you can see if you're able to register and the results come out on the Google Sheet as well as the SMS bit. So in fact, let's quickly do a check here itself. I'll share my screen and let's see if it works. Does that sound better? And once it works, maybe I can share the URL and you can see it, and we can see if all of the links are working fine. So if you think this is a fair idea, just type in yes, and I'll share my screen and we'll do a test experiment here to see if everything is working fine. Okay, this is the moment of truth. All right. I'm not sure if everything has worked fine or not, but if something is not, we'll diagnose what went here and there, but ideally these are the steps which need to be followed. One second, let me share it. Okay, can you see my MailChimp screen? Give me a quick yes if you can. No, no, okay. Let me reshare it. Seems to be fine. Yeah, can you see it now? Great, one second. All right, awesome. So let me okay. So ideally it is successful. Let's go to Google Sheets and see if this entry is recorded. So the previous few entries seem to be showing here, but the one we filled in now did not come. What we'll do is we'll wait for about 2 minutes if it updates. Otherwise, I'll quickly run through the Zap and see what's up. So let me have a look at the Zap anyway meanwhile. Hmm. So, okay. Ideally, what is best is I'll just create a new Zap in 2 minutes because I think that will give me more clarity instead of just having to edit everything. So if you can see my Zapier screen, just type in yes and I'll make a new Zap and set things up. Can you see my Zapier screen? Cool. Oh, okay. So the Google Sheets seems to be working, but it just got updated. But let me, since the SMS bit is also yet to happen, I'll create a new Zap, and meanwhile, if the SMS comes, what I'll do is I'll just share the link with you as well. Otherwise, by that time, the Zap is going to be ready. Yeah. Okay. So it says there is some error. So let's check here. This is fine. There's a space here. That could be the error. And no space here, no space here. So we will go to send data and we will retest and review it. So it says we created a get. We were able to create a get in your webhooks by Zapier account, and this is the result ID. So if you see, I have got the message here successfully. So if there's an issue, that's how you can diagnose it. And what I will do is I will now turn on the Zap and you can let me know if you get the SMS as well. So I'm going to turn my Zap on and okay. I will now share the link to MailChimp and let's test it real time. So I will explain where I got the sender ID from. 1 second. Let me share this across. And yeah, so if you fill it, let me know you filled it. I mean, of course, technically I should be able to see it as well, but yeah. So let me start a new share and keep the Google Sheets open. Yeah, so it will not come as a hyperlink. You will have to paste it on your browser after that. So we see the details filling in here. And if you receive an SMS, let me know. Meanwhile, what I will do is I will open SMS Horizon and share that screen as well, because we could see that Google Sheets is giving us the data. Let's see what SMS Horizon has to show here. So if you see here, let me refresh it. And talking about the sender ID, this is where you can get it, Kanishka. So this is the sender ID basically. I mean, I did try seeing in my profile and other things, but I couldn't really see any much data. So I just went to send SMS and I used it. So you can see here that the SMSs are being, delivered with the email ID. So yeah, it seemed pretty fancy. So I was just trying it out. Are you also going to try it? If yes, give me a quick yes in the chat box. If it seems cool and you have some free credit. So, I mean, if you're actually using Zapier, you might as well go ahead and, try different things. So that was the entire motive even I had behind just going and trying it out and just checking it out. So yes, these are the basic two things. I would also love your feedback and I would request you to stay back while I just make a link for that. So do you have any other questions meanwhile? Okay, so great guys. All you guys have been receiving the SMS. Yes, Puneet, webhooks are a premium feature. That's how it is. Yes, the recording would be shared. Give me one moment and yep, in another 5 minutes, we will be done with the session. If you would like to give a feedback, you can stay back. Otherwise, we are pretty much done here. All right. I'm just sharing the link. If you liked today's session and if you thought it was helpful, you can send in your reviews here. So, Nitesh, okay. So meanwhile, I'm seeing a query from Nitesh. While you guys leave your feedback, I'll just quickly try to address it here. Nitish, sometimes, so that's what happens. Like when you're making a zap, sometimes it goes here and there, and very minor issues can actually lead to a zap not working. So in cases like that, if it's not working since the beginning, you can always just create a new zap and do the steps once again. Sometimes that really helps, and you will see that the zap actually works if you've followed the right steps. So that is pretty much it. So yes, guys, that's what it was. And following the tradition, I'll just share my screen and see. I know towards the end, very few people are live, but didn't want to really break the momentum. It was a fun. It's fun to use Zapier basically. So all right, since today so many screen here and there has been happening. Can you see the Facebook screen here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many of you like now know how these big companies send you SMSs and emails on time? How is it done? Just soon as you pay for Swiggy, you get an SMS, you get an app notification, you get an email. Even they kind of use tools like this, but they have built their own. We are depending on a third party tool here. And if Zapier is expensive, there are more tools, guys. There is something called as automate.io or something. You
Yeah.
can check
It's
that out. Yeah.
Phantom is also for this, right? Or yes, yes.
What? I'm sorry.
Phantom.
Not very sure. Not,
Oh, even
not,
I'm not, but I just like to remember it from the back of my
I
mind. I
think
think
Zapier is one of the best tools. Like we have been using for Digital Deepak and Pixel Track for like what 3 years now, and you can make a lot of like.
so. Shiraz says Phantom is for social media automation.
Can I directly input leads from Facebook ads into MailChimp audience? Yes, you can do that. But you might need a third-party tool which is called as Supermetrics if you're using Facebook ads in between. So you have this integration in Zapier which is called as Supermetrics. You might have to use that. You might have to use this to like just integrate it with Facebook ads.
All right. So Sunil says, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Renuka, Puneet, Ganesh, Bodhisattva, Venkateshwar, Anand, Zial, Sonali. Thanks, guys. We're glad this was helpful. So, yep, this is pretty much it. And thanks for tuning in. We hope we were able to resolve your queries. Bye bye, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.